I want to do this. I want to do this in a radio or podcast form or media form. Live people, live treatment of students, live people, and really just lay it all out there for other people, because you never know who needs help but can't afford actual mental health treatment and actual therapy. You know, you got young athletes going through the same thing that middle-aged athletes are going through the same thing that pro athletes are going through. Yeah. So, if I can be there for them, assist them, that's where I'm at.
For sure.
And if I could do it in a beautiful place like this sunny West Coast, is where it's at.
Yeah.
There's a hurricane back where I just moved from, snow and freezing cold in my hometown, and it's 103 degrees today. It's fucking lovely.
Nice.
Excuse my language.
It's all good. Well, this is the Love for Sound Sports Podcast. I'm Chad. This is
Busy. How's it
all right. Good stuff. All right. So we're going to talk a little bit about sports, injuries, Las Vegas atmosphere, and so what's your take on the current climate right now on injuries and the pace and the treatment and
Well, I mean, CTE is just taking a toll on, I think, we'll start with the most popular sport in the country, NFL and football. Like, CTE is just taking its toll on football. It's softened up the game a hell of a lot. But the problem is, nothing's really gonna change until they stop making money. Until people stop showing up on Sunday morning, stop showing up on Saturday morning in protest of some sort, nothing's really gonna happen. They're gonna repad the helmets, they're gonna give people more specialized helmets, but stopping full contact football, I don't really see it happening. I mean, they may dwindle. I mean, since we're talking injury, since we are talking about injuries, and we are in the beautiful state of Las Vegas, the beautiful city of Las Vegas, in the beautiful state of Nevada, let's talk about the Raiders. Jesus, like a team that we almost think every year, I've been a Raiders fan since I was a little kid, and every year, the first 5 games, I always feel like, oh my God, we got a chance because we're 3-2. We'll be 3-2. We'll be 4-1. We'll start off 2-1. We'll start off 3-1, something like that. And I'm always like, yes, we got it. We're gonna win some games, and then something happens. Yep. Whether it's a injury, because right now Devontae Adams injured.
Yeah.
Injured. Crosby, questionable.
Well, half of these teams are injured. If we take a look at Arizona Cardinals, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 players. Jeez. Falcons, 10 players. Ravens, 10 players. Bills, 10 players. Panthers, 20 players. These are all, ESPN official verified injuries, that they must report to the league office. And 10 players, 15 players, 20 players, the Bears, 20 players, Bengals. Who's your team? Who do we got here?
Vegas
Raiders.
Big Raiders fan.
All right, let's take a look at the Las Vegas Raiders and see.
Well, I know we had 3 devastating ones right now.
Oh yeah. So we got Thayer Munford.
We got Max Crosby out. We got Max Crosby out. We got our cornerback. We got a cornerback out. We got a linebacker out. We got Devontae Adams out.
Yeah.
Marcus Epps out. Trey Taylor out. There's no cornerback. There's no secondary. There's like no secondary prepared to be on the field on Sunday when we play on Sunday. So, it's just disappointing for the Raiders, who had some flashes in the pan, and I wish we could just get over that hump of our flashes in the pan making them last. Making those flashes in the pan last. But that's how close we always feel like we are. But I think it's a cultural thing. When you have a culture for the past 22 years of dissatisfaction, it's really easy to lose a game and fall into it like, at least we've won 5 games this season. At least we won 6 games this season. At least we won 7 games this season. Well, at least we beat Kansas City once. Big deal.
Yeah.
big deal. The problem is we got to look at our own schedule and stop looking at ourselves, because every other team looks at their schedule and writes a W across our names before the season even starts. We got to start looking at our schedule and saying the same thing about those other teams. I mean, we come in, lay the smack down on Kansas City last game of the season last year. Lay the smack down on who was it? The Cowboys this year? Who laid the smack down on this year? They surprised everybody. Second game too.
Let's take a look at that. That's a great question. Hold on. So let's go ahead and pull this up. Let's do what? Week 2. NFL. Pull this up here. So we got Raiders, Bengals, Steelers, Chiefs, Rams, Cardinals, Ravens. Is that the one you're referring to?
We come in, we beat down the Ravens, and we do it fantastically, magnificently, just like when we beat up on Patrick Mahomes last season. But it's the flashes in the pan. Like, it's a flash in the pan. Like, we got to hold on to it. I think a lot of it's, like I said, it's culture. Once you got a culture of losing, it's okay to have a losing season. It's so easy to fall, so easy to have that fall from grace where you think you're doing great because you're so close to the bottom.
Yeah.
You know, you're so close to the bottom, so you really can care less about the winning. But that changing coaches every couple years, John Gruden did a number on us. Like, John Gruden did a number on us, not coaching wise, he didn't do much better for us, but also just culturally playing with us like that girl who doesn't want you that much, but you think she does.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then being a weirdo at the end of the whole thing.
Well, a lot of it is, you got these coaches who want to do stuff. You got the managers who want to do stuff. You got the players who want to run the show.
Yeah.
And it is the guaranteed money that is all of the problem. You have players who know that if I play X amount of games, get X amount of yards, I've met my quota, and then I don't have to do anything past that. Or I can get injured, kind of like
I got paid already.
Yeah,
I can get injured.
Yeah, I get the benefits for life.
Hey.
It's like if I'm in a war tank and it flips over, I get 5,000. But now our athletes purposefully doing that. Like, so if we're talking about sports therapy and we're talking like, look, I look at all of this and I don't think could all be a coincidence. Half of the team, like 10 players, 15 players on each team, doubtful, injured,
our generation is not our generation. We are not the generation of the past where your grandfather got up with a bullet in his arm, left the military, had one leg, and went to go work at GM every day for 12 hours a day. Hell no, we're not that generation. Flat out, our generation is. If I wake up in the morning, I don't feel good, my tummy hurts, I'm calling in. I'm calling into the office, and I think these NFL professional athletes, they're doing the same. I mean, look at the NBA last year. Remember the NBA last year? They had to institute that people play 60% of their games. 55%, I think it was. They had to make it a rule that you play 55% of your games. People were talking mental health days. I understand mental health is very important, but it's a game.
Yeah.
It's a game. That means you're either not being treated and not taking it seriously enough, your treatment's not being taken, your mental health is not being taken seriously enough in the workplace, or what else would be going on with you?
Well, I don't know, in my opinion, I see it, it's kind of only one-dimensional, is that when a player has a physical injury, that could be treated. When it splits into something that on an intangible area where now it's in the gray mental state of, that needs to be,
Somebody needs to not regulate it, but you need it. That's why a therapist on staff is so important for these athletic ones, because you can tell, just like your doctor can look at your MRI and say, no, they're good to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Your mental health therapist should be on top of it. Like I said, you're either not taking your mental health serious enough, or, like you said, it could be, a little bit exacerbated. They could be, embellishing a little bit to get that excuse to not going to work.
Yep. So you get millions of dollars. You're Travis Kelce. You're on the Chiefs. You take a wellness day and say, "Oh, I feel depressed that Taylor Swift won't be at my game. Now, how does that look? You're doubtful for the game because you wake up and it's like I'm
not in it. I wake up and I'm not here right now. Yeah. I mean, the brain is your strongest muscle. The brain is the most powerful and the strongest muscle you got. So, if you don't take care of that first, you can see yourself headed down a slippery slope, man.
Right, so when we're circling back to the injuries and we're circling back to the dollar amount and we're circling back to the league and the payments and the funding of it all, and we look at the fans and we look at the ticket prices and the schedule and adding new teams to the league and moving the Raiders to Vegas. Overall, should we be limiting the amount of years that these players can, structuring if you have X amount of knee injuries or X amount of days out, that you have reached your quota, that you're going to be permanently injured. So now, that structure within the medical community is you've hurt yourself one too many times. This is the gray area of your contract. When this happens, you get a certain percentage of it, and it was nice meeting you, I'm sorry to say, but your health is more important than us. And what's your take on
the Tua situation? Everybody's like, look, enough is enough. They're saying nobody can make that call for him. I absolutely agree. Somebody else needs to make that call for you. But the problem is, there's a problem here. The doctors who work, the trainers, the professionals that work on the staff for the Miami Dolphins, for the Raiders, they work for that team. And if they know, hey, Sunday's going to be a rough one if we don't get our guy back out there, they'll send him out half-assed. They'll send him out at 50%.
But see, that's part of the problem, though, is because we're not machines, and then they complain after the fact that they get hurt, they have long-term disabilities, and because the league didn't mandate and kick them out, kind of like a OSHA for injuries
But the league wants to make its money. The league needs to make its money. And like I was saying too before, in the beginning, the league, as long as the league has a laundry list of kids coming in, think about it. It has the I don't think you got to address the NFL. You got to address the NCAA. But I got a lot of friends I went to college with that were on 3, 4, 5 surgeries. Nowhere near pro. Nowhere near pro. So, and this is before you can get paid. This is before NIL money. Some of the kids playing now don't get NIL money. I mean, you got to regulate that, because what it is the NFL has an NCAA football farm full of students ready to go, full of players ready to go, ready to turn pro.
And that's really it. Is we've got all of these pros, we got fully staffed teams that nobody can enter in the league, but they're always injured. So if they structured it properly, we can refresh the tank with
you gotta
new
regulate
athletes.
it. I mean, how many times is that knee how many times you gonna snap that knee? How many concussions are you gonna get? You know what I mean? This is not the 90s. And the problem is we have all the ability, we have all the technology in the world, all the money in the world, all the awareness and all the viewership in the world. Everybody saw that boy get knocked out on Sunday last week. Everybody saw Tua get knocked out. Everybody. And watch the next week, he's going to be right back out there. If he can hobble, stand up, and look and see straight, he's going to be right back out there because he's making the call.
But that's what's wrong about the entire NFL and their medical outlook on their players is we got to look at there's a word for it and it just escaped my mind. But the wellness of the athletes, or the wellness of just humans as a whole, is when an athlete steps on the field, it should be almost like a 3-strike you're out. If you get 3 concussions,
I agree.
third one,
I agree, definitely.
and there's tons of athletes. There's a lot of agents, that are representing athletes.
Not as many agents as you would think. Not as many. Like one agent probably represents 10 to 20 different athletes. That's why you get a whole lot of people going to a whole lot of the same places. Why are the Raiders always trading players with the Patriots? Why are they always trading players with the Patriots? Same agencies. You know what I mean? Like why you keep seeing these players trade with these players, these teams, these players just swap places. Same agents. Everybody wants to eat. And there's a machine in place in the NCAA to feed us more players. You get injured, you're out the league tomorrow.
Yeah.
You're out the league tomorrow. There's another kid coming up ready to sacrifice his body to put his family in a different situation.
Yeah.
It's the game of you dangle that carrot in front of somebody's face. They'll in front of that donkey's face. He will run himself until his legs break to get that carrot.
Yeah.
I mean, if you had the opportunity, if somebody told you, let's put it this way, if somebody told you, hey, I'm going to give you enough money to set your children's family straight. You can give $1 million to the rest of your family tree. All it's going to take is I'm going to shave 10 years, 10 to 15, 20, because let's be honest, it's more than 20. We're going to shave 20 years off your life.
Yep.
And you're going to wake up every day with your joints hurting and pains hurting and injuries.
Yeah.
You're going to have to sacrifice your body and 20 years off your life. But your children's will be millionaires.
Yep.
And as will you. You will live at the finest of places, and you will go on the finest of vacations. Yeah, you'll have a hard time getting around. What would you say? What's a normal person going to say that's getting up every day and going to work at, Kinko's or going to work at Target in a warehouse somewhere?
Yeah.
You offer him the opportunity, hold up, I can have a torn ACL and walk around with a limp for the rest of my life, but I'll make $50 million?
That's this controversial thing because we don't have the purge around because for obvious reasons murder.
What are the obvious reasons? Tell me the obvious reasons why there's no purge.
So population control was the ideology of the purge, right?
Absolutely.
And the movie of cleaning up the board for one day of like, all right, well, I don't like this person. Everyone's got a person they don't like, but we can get into the morals of that, later into another podcast. But if you took away law and order, we're all animals. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day,
one of the things
you're doing it because it's bad, or you're doing it because there's consequences. We're all on the freeway. You ever had the worst road rage where you think or say something you wouldn't in a million years, and you just
I think we've all been there, especially out here in Las Vegas. We got a mix. We got the worst mix ever. Tourists, locals, nobody's driving like they have anywhere to go. If I got to go to work at 7 in the morning, who cares? There's some guy that's staring at the New York casino while he's driving his car and damn near stopped in the middle of the road. And then every time I get on the highway, it's what? Californians that they don't mind an hour-long wait in traffic. Let them just move it slow. They're stuttering on their brakes the entire time. It blows, but whatever.
For sure. But all right, now I remember. Circling back to it. So when we're talking about treating athletes like machines and retiring and saying, oh well, you have $20 million, your family's going to be rich forever. It's okay, you can sign your life away. But you can't. For the wealthy people participating in the purge, and this was what I was trying to get to, is they can't just auction off people. People are people. Regardless if you want to sell your body for your family and say, okay, well, do what you will with me, with your, with the violence and the sports and the this and the that, so my family could be better off. You know what I'm saying? That can't be an option.
You know what? The more advanced.
5 concussions should be, that's it.
5? He's had, how many concussions has he had?
Well, let's say LeBron James is great, right? And how many knee surgeries has he had?
Barely any. I think that's why he's so astounding, is he's had that groin injury. and like a foot injury, but like he's been like 22 years, something like that. Like that's why he's so amazing. Because everybody's like, how did he went 19 years, 18 years without an injury.
Yeah.
He didn't get injured till the second year at the Lakers.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think that's why he's so amazing. An Ohio-born player from the 330, just like myself, Youngstown, Ohio.
Yes, sir.
30 minutes away from Akron University. But anyway, I actually went to Akron University. I was Akron Zip. My first semester in college, I was Akron Zip.
Yep.
Yeah, but anyway, but no, I think that's why he was so amazing. But the more advanced our culture gets, the richer we get. Well, I don't think we're rich. Most people look poor. The more advanced our culture gets with technology, if you notice that the more savage we've actually gotten. Like you said, you can't trade your body for money. First of all, that's the whole premise of employment. Second of all, isn't that what we do on the daily basis? That's what everybody does on a daily basis. I mean, look at OnlyFans. Look at OnlyFans. Like, you can't sell your body for the betterment of your family and money. That's exactly what it is. OnlyFans, multi-billion-dollar company.
Yeah.
And all they do, all it's about is selling your body for money.
Because it's sporting, I mean, it's all sporting. Like when we're talking about sports, when we're talking about the NFL, we're talking about the NBA, the NHL, badminton, hockey, cricket, squash.
Yeah.
Friggin' throw the dice, whoever's got the largest number, and when we circle back to OnlyFans and all of that
I'm
good
gonna
stuff.
keep standing here.
So
I'm gonna keep doing whatever y'all want me to do that gets the money thrown at me.
Yeah.
That gets the money thrown at me. NFL player is no different than the OnlyFans girl who made $5 million in her first year on OnlyFans. Same difference as that NFL linebacker that's out there putting helmet to helmet for the betterment of his family.
Yeah. Except for when you're on OnlyFans, if you don't have the right angle, ain't nobody gonna buy that foot picture.
This is true. Nobody's gonna see your highlight if it's not the right angle.
There was no contrast in one foot pic, and I'm like, I'm not paying $500 for this. Not today.
Yeah, they really got to do better sometimes. That's the worst thing about OnlyFans. You ever log on to OnlyFans and you go to your favorite and you pay for the whatever you're going to pay for, and it's like very amateur and very whack, and you're like, man, I could have did this myself, or you could have looked up something for free.
Yeah.
I could have looked up something for free. I wanted to support this particular individual. Yeah, and then they give you some, what's the word, mid. They give you some mid content. This blows.
It's like a business. When we're talking about
we did just talk about how these athletes mail it in sometimes.
Yeah, but
good point.
Even with athletes and agents and the OnlyFans, the algorithm, and the playback engine, kind of like the aggregate engine that I have on Pro Tools, we record on, is OnlyFans has that too.
Yeah.
So that if you're a top performer, if you're not top performer, but if you get that lucky player that dies. Have you seen that movie with Robin Williams when he was running for president and the votes were going in electronically, but because his name was first up alphabetically, that the votes went his way and he won by a landslide.
No.
So
there's an algorithm for not only what I see, but there's an algorithm for the content creator that's put in front of me.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and a lot of these social media influencers have figured it out, kind of like the athletes, like the game, the injuries. Are the injuries real? Are they? Have they figured it out? Have they figured out, well, if this, and this, you keep your contract and everything will be great.
I think Kawhi Leonard, in injuries for sports.
Kawhi Leonard. Man, I had that guy in my fantasy league last year. It was so upsetting.
Oh my God, why? I would never.
He's a great player, that's fine.
He literally plays 48% of his career.
Yeah.
I could never. It's like, okay, I had I'm a LeBron fan. Yeah. So I'm a Lakers fan of the past. Well, I've been a Lakers fan for a while. But I was so against Anthony Davis. I was completely against Anthony Davis. He's made out of duct tape. Why would you take it? I'm like, the Lakers need Iron Man. You know what I mean? Kobe Bryant played every game. He played games with broken hands, broken fingers, broken injuries, sick. He played every game until they sat him sitting down.
Yep.
Anthony Davis. Oh, Anthony Davis gave the Pelicans Anthony Davis gave the Pelicans 30% of his contract. Like 40, I think it was like 40, low 50s percentage of his contract. And the Lakers reward him?
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. I get it. The what you call it was won. The ring was won, but I still think we could have got Klay Thompson at that time. Before pre-injury, we could have got pre-injury Klay Thompson and stuck two big dudes down low. You still had Dwight Howard. We could have stuck two big dudes down low that nobody had heard of. Gigantic dudes. JaVale McGee. We had JaVale McGee, AD. Think about it, when the Lakers won that ring. We had JaVale McGee, AD, and Dwight Howard.
Yeah.
And Dwight Howard.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
you mean to tell me I couldn't have made a run with a second round draft pick, Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee, and the team that they had? You don't think we could have did that?
Oh, had I known who was going to be on the injury list, literally every year, and the league kicks off October 22nd. We're doing our fantasy drafts mid-October.
Yeah.
My team just gets shot up within the first month or two. All of them are on the bench, but all of the players that I have are on the first pick, second pick, on the
great players,
fantasy picks.
They're sitting it out.
Yeah.
Well, the second half of the season is all that matters. That's why they made the in-season tournament. That's why they made the in-season tournament to get them to get the players to actually give a shit about the first half of the season.
But when it's you're winning by points, I don't know, is your league do they calculate it by points every week?
I'm not in a fantasy anything.
So the NFL, like the round robin, ESPN.
Oh no, I know how fantasy leagues work. I just haven't done it in a long time. It's hard to live and fantasize at the same time.
Yeah, that's so true. The AR and the VR, but people love it. You know, like reality is overrated. Put on a HoloLens, join the corporation. Now you're at home. I'm going to have a robot, and then you're going to control the robot in my warehouse. And then I'm going to beam it over to the billionaires and be like, look, I have zero liability. Yeah. No liability.
And I'm going to pay you half of what you were getting paid.
And now everyone's machine learning the robot. When the machine robot memorizes all of those commands, then they don't need, it's diabolically genius.
Well, I mean, it's like we're back. Let's go. Taking it all back to why injuries take place. It's a business.
Yeah.
It's a business. When our great grandfathers were coal mining, they were dropping dead. They were dropping dead back then. They were breathing in everything, coming home black from head to toe. Everybody knew that shit was dangerous. But do you want to feed your family or not?
See, now we're getting back to the crux of it.
Yeah.
It gets back to there are only three things that I care about in this world: family, God, my sports, career. Family, God, and career.
Family, God, career.
Sports, you know what I'm saying? Because everything is sporting. Everything is you got to win. You know?
Yeah, this is America, man. Yep. It's competitive. Ain't no honorable mentions. Ain't no empathetic wins. No, man. This is America. You're the first or your last. Best statement I taught my kids that from Ricky Bobby. Ricky Bobby told me, man, you the first or your last.
I'm crazy because I refuse to lose. God damn it, bitch.
Man, you wake up in the morning and piss excellence, man. Like that's what being American is all about, man. I mean, I think every country, but I mean, being American, it's what drives us, but it's also what breaks a lot of people. Because when they realize, oh shit, I'm not going to be the best NFL player in the world. What do I do now? Some people can't take that, and I'm here for them too. I'm here for you guys too.
You hear that?
If you can't make, if you didn't make it, I'm here to help you find that next option in life. I'm that next option in life. But that next option in life could be sweeter, man. People don't know, man. You get blinded by competition. You get blinded by the sporting of the world, the rat race that we're in. You can be blinded by it, and you could really lose sight of the things that you're naturally good at.
If you don't make it, call the hotline. Mr. Caldwell's here.
I'm here for you. I'm here for you. We're here to take you to new heights, show you a different life that you didn't expect, and who knows? You might be better there than you ever thought you were.
For the course of $99 a month, you can.
It'd be a week.
A week.
Inflation's high. $99. $99 a week. I can definitely help you. My services are available for an hour.
All right.
2 hours.
These are 2024 prices.
That second hour is going to be all virtual. I only got an hour for you in person.
All right.
But like I said, it'll be break some people, man. Some people don't even know nothing. Like, you've seen the NFL players, you've seen all the movies, what am I gonna do now?
Yeah.
What do I do now? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I'm glad that there's so many avenues for athletes, podcasting,
rapping,
music, stuff like that.
Country, rock and roll.
Not everybody's built to be in entertainment. Not everybody's built to be in entertainment. Some people are made to be.
But it's all entertainment, though. Like, look at it, bro. When somebody shows up to your door, whether it be an HVAC guy, a plumber guy, electrician guy, girlfriend, what have you, right? First thing you see is the first impression, the smile, the wave,
Charm.
the interaction, the
win me
interaction.
over.
Yep.
How do I keep Tinder?
And it's sporting.
Tinder. Match. Okay.
Yep.
Say something that makes me give you my phone.
That is entertainment. Like, whether or not we like to play the game, ready up player one, because you don't have a choice.
You know, that was a really great movie. Took place in Ohio, by the way. But Ready Player One was a really good example of like how we've turned everything. Because remember, the point of that movie, they escaped into that virtual reality world, but like they were living in like a trailer park where the trailers were stacked on top of each other in the middle of like an industrial junkyard.
Yeah.
That was the city of Columbus, Ohio, which is a beautiful city, by the way, home of the Ohio State Buckeyes. Anyway, but that was the whole point of that movie. It was like, yo, if we let you give in to this virtual world, guess what? You'll let the rest of the world crumble around you while you're blinded by this fantasy that we lock you into.
Oh yeah, definitely. So we're gonna wrap up this podcast here, Love for Sound Sports. But first, before we do, let's take a look at the rest of the week 4, and let's go down to predictions to see who's gonna win and lose. Cowboys, clearly, they beat the Giants.
It wasn't that clear. I mean, they controlled nothing the entire game. If anything, I watched from the Cowboys-Giants game, it was the fact that the Giants are on their way back up. They just need to find the right quarterback and maybe another weapon. Like, the Giants held that game together. It was the Giants' game to lose.
Yeah.
And the Cowboys are not that good. Outside of CD, I don't know what the hell they're going to do. Like, they have nothing.
And then we're looking at the Bengals, Panthers.
I think the Bengals aren't going to go 0-4. I just don't think Joe Burrow's going to allow that to happen in his will. The Panthers look good, but I don't think Joe Burrow's going to allow them to go 0-4.
Me neither. Yeah. I mean, last week I couldn't see him going 0-3, but it happened.
He was off the field forever.
Yeah.
Saints and Falcons. This is a good game.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Falcons on this.
You're taking the Falcons?
Yeah.
Why?
Right. But the Saints, they're all right, but the Falcons' offense is just lethal.
Okay. I'm going to go, all right, just to be contrarian, I'm going to go with the Saints because I love Derek Carr. I loved him in
Who does the Saints have? You got Derek Carr, you got Kamara, you got Spencer Rattler, Chase Young. Yeah.
And Kamara looked like looked like 5 years ago, looked like Drew Brees Kamara.
Yeah.
Last week. He looked great. He's looked great this season.
Yeah. Let's see, Falcons. What we got? Cousins, Simmons, Robinson, Jordan London. It'll be a good game.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good game. That's gonna be a really good one.
For sure. All right. Next up, we've got Jaguars, Texans.
Texans.
By
I hate Clemson. I hate the Clemson Tigers. So therefore, what's his name? What's the boy's name? Sunshine. What's his name? Trevor Lawrence. Therefore, not a big fan of Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence is not showing up. That guy, he was not ready for the NFL. He went first round.
You don't think he was ready for the NFL?
He was not ready for the NFL.
I don't think anybody's going to say that, especially since they paid him. But you're absolutely right. I don't think anybody says that enough.
great quarterback, right? There was nobody better to pick in that pool. And it's kind of like,
Do you remember the team he played for? Okay, first of all, you remember Deshaun Watson won one championship with the Clemson Tigers, and I think went to another one.
yeah,
And then he handed the team, exact same team, straight over to Trevor Lawrence. And then Trevor Lawrence went on to win one and then lose one.
yeah.
I mean, if I'm throwing to the best guy, we're talking the biggest lineman, one of the best defensive, and a running game with Travis Etienne that was insane. The Ingram and Etienne that was insane.
But it's just kind of like, all right, when you're varsity in college, right, and you get to the NFL, he lost his groove. Like it's kind of like when you're with your boys and you go to the club, like you're the Mac Daddy. But when he stepped out to the Jaguars and to the NFL,
but he went to the Jaguars.
Didn't perform. He just kind of like he lost his groove.
He went to the Jaguars.
He's a mess.
Going from the number one team in college, where you're playing with the best elite athletes, you're surrounded by nothing but the best. You can put me up under center, and I'm gonna complete those throws to the Jags, which was the worst team in the league at the time, and still is bottom feeding in the league.
Yeah.
I mean, you just get exposed for what you are. Some quarterbacks can overcome the situation and the franchise, and some can't.
All right. Well, that's that. Exposure.
Broncos and the Jets. Now, I think this one, I'm going to give this one to the Jets.
I'll go with the Jets. Who the Broncos got?
Bo Nix, who looks very good.
Nix, Zach Wilson. Yeah.
Zach Wilson on the bench.
Jack Wilson.
He's so handsome.
Wilson.
He's such a good looking kid.
Wilson.
I think he's still getting signed off the fact that he is so cute. Like he's so adorable. And he's still getting signed because he just looks like he's the quarterback of a team.
There you go.
He looked like you're the quarterback of a team.
Sure.
They should put him in to play against Aaron Rodgers just so he can talk shit.
There you go.
They get a lead. They better if the Broncos get a lead on Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. They better put in Zach Wilson for a little bit.
For sure.
For a couple. Let him get one down lead.
Right.
Give him one play.
There you go.
Series.
Yes, sir. All right. So
Is that Vikings and Packers?
that is the Vikings and the Packers.
This is gonna be a good week.
Vikings, Packers. I'm gonna take the Packers on this one.
Really?
Yeah.
Isn't it Sam Darnold at the Vikings right now, right?
Yeah. But I mean, what?
Darnold's on it. Darnold's hot, and the Vikings are. The rest of the Vikings team is pretty hot. I'm gonna go with the Vikings.
Josh Jacobs, though. I mean, Josh Jacobs is an animal.
I'm going with the Vikings on that one. I'm gonna go with the Vikings.
Vikings what? Jefferson, Addison, Jones. All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Vikings. Think about it. When's the last time the Vikings was not? If the Vikings lose, it's always been a hard-fought game.
Yeah.
And it's probably the coldest game of your season. I don't care where you came from. Playing in Minnesota is gonna be one of your coldest games of the year.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. All right. Got Pittsburgh Steelers, Indianapolis Colts. All right.
If I was still in the Midwest, this would be the game of like the week. If I was still in Ohio, this would be the game that everybody's watching.
Fields, Wilson, TJ Watt.
I'm gonna go with. I don't trust Fields, even though he's from Ohio State. He has to prove it to me, which he is doing so far. Yeah, so I'm just going with Pittsburgh. I'm just gonna go with Pittsburgh. They went like what? Didn't they go? They won 10 games, 11 games from that last year with no quarterback at all.
Yeah.
Like so I can count them in for like 8-9 wins without even the quarterback being a factor.
For sure. All right. We are looking at where we at, the Rams?
Rams and the Bears?
Rams and the Bears. The Bears. I have to take the Bears.
Why?
The Bears.
Why?
The Bears are animals. Look at this. We got Caleb Williams.
Who is a 50%
Jonathan Owens.
passer.
I'll take 50%.
He was a
50% of the day. It works every Sunday.
50% of the time, it works every time.
Yes, sir.
No, he's a 50% passer. I don't think the coaching matches his style of play. Like if he was with Lincoln Riley somewhere, if he was in Arizona, I don't think the coaching matches his style of play, and I think they got to get the coach right. I think they're going to do really bad this season. And the Rams, I'm gonna go with the Rams on that one. I think the Bears are gonna be really bad this season until they figure out the coaching situation. He gets it together.
Split decision then. Got the Rams. You got the Rams. I got the Bears. Now we're looking at the Eagles. Philadelphia Eagles. Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Both of these guys got something to prove.
It might end in a tie. I would like to see this go into overtime.
Both of these teams have something to prove. The Eagles need to prove that they're as good as as good as projected, like as good as we're expecting them to be.
Yeah.
You know, as good
Live
as
up to the hype.
Live up to their reputation.
Yeah.
Like they've got to live up to their reputation, especially after that folly last year. And the Buccaneers are trying to prove that they can survive in the AFC South, right?
Yeah.
They have to survive in the AFC South now that the Saints are showing their ass, the Falcons are showing their ass, the Panthers are looking viable. Like, yeah, both these teams have something to prove, and I'm gonna go with the Eagles because I think they have more machismo.
Machismo. All right. I agree with you.
You know, Tampa has more strip clubs per square mile than any other place in the country.
Tampa's my place.
I think it'll make you soft. I think
Good old Tampa.
No, I love Tampa. I love Tampa, but I think that has effect on it when you live in a place that party versus like a steel town like Philadelphia. You know, where the whole week you're looking forward to nothing but those 4 hours of football.
Yeah.
Versus like stumbling out of the strip club hours before the game starts with 2 margaritas in your system.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Philly.
Go. Yeah.
The only
Definitely.
place that could whip Tampa into shape was Tom.
Yeah. Yeah. That's for sure. That's
Fuck
for sure.
John Gruden. Am I okay to say
Yeah,
that?
go
Fuck
for
John
it.
Gruden.
Yeah.
And 2001 in that Tampa championship. And Warren Sapp while we're at it.
There you go.
Like, I'm very salty about that. Being a Raiders fan since I was a child. Anyway. Commanders and Cardinals.
Commanders, Cardinals.
This is a good one.
I'm going with the Commanders.
It's gotta be, yeah. I'm going with him. Jaden Daniels looks like a man. He looks like he came to play.
Oh, dude, Daniels, McLaurin's an animal, so
Yeah.
I mean he's got a target every time. I mean, Eckler,
I gotta give a shout out. Gotta give a shout out to McLaurin.
know it.
But yeah, no, he looks like he's playing. He's playing like he came in the league to prove something. You know what I mean? He wanted to prove something, whether it was his draft spot or his paycheck. He's trying to prove something, and I like him. I like him. Yeah.
Also, Commander.
And then all those injuries that we just went over with Arizona.
Oh yeah, Arizona. They've got
half the team's injured.
Yeah. Well, let's see. We're going back here.
Oh, Kansas City and what was that? Kansas City and the Chargers?
I believe so. I go. Sorry. Injury. Yeah. So we're at Kansas City Chargers here.
We're going Kansas City.
Definitely.
I kind of want to see what Harbaugh's all about, but I'm gonna give him a year or so before I judge him. Even though I hate him, but whatever. Where he worked last year, I'm not gonna hold. Yeah, I'm gonna hold it against him.
Definitely. All right.
There's another one. What was it? 49ers and the 49ers and the Patriots.
Yeah.
Niners, Patriots. Who you got?
49ers and Patriots. I got Patriots all day.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're gonna crush them.
Do you want to gamble on this? Are we gonna put something on this? Can I say that here? Can't talk about gambling on it. Jesus. The Patriots?
Yeah, you can go for it. All right, so if we're talking about the Patriots,
I'm going to have to go with the 49ers once again.
49ers.
Not only do they have something to prove, they're an aging team, and I think they can beat up on the Patriots.
49ers, don't get me wrong, I like the 49ers. They got Kittle, they got Purdy. But in this game...
Kittle, Purdy, Ayuk, Samuels, it's a squad. Don't they have Trent Williams?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a squad.
All right, what's the line on this?
I have no idea.
Alright, so we're looking at Patriots. Scores, betting lines, NFL. Come on, load up here. Yeah, it says the
Is it the Patriots? It's not the Patriots.
Patriots are gonna win. No, 49ers are 10-point favorites.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
10.5 point favorites. But I like the underdog on this one, so.
Hell, I hope you hit. if you win, I hope you win. Jesus Christ.
What's up?
Put 50 on that one.
Yes, sir.
What's on? Browns Raiders. Right?
Browns Raiders.
This is the scariest game. Not just because I'm a Raiders fan. It's because the Raiders. We all feel really good about the Raiders right now. They're both riddled with injuries. Deshaun Watson looks like complete shit. He's a weird guy. Do it with his weirdness. Maybe he needs a massage or something. But he's been playing like trash. He played a little bit better last week than he played all season, but he's been playing like trash. But our Devontae Adams out. But Gardner Minshew Adams hasn't been Gardner Minshew's number one receiver this season.
Yeah.
He hasn't been his primary target so far. So, I don't know. Can Gardner Minshew make it happen? He reminds me of like Fitzpatrick. He reminds me of Fitzpatrick. Like whether he wins or loses, I like watching him play.
What's up?
He's entertaining.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the hometown over my heart. I'm going to go with my home over my heart, and I'm going to go with the Browns. Only because their defense is insane.
We're going against the Raiders to the Browns. All right.
Like, if I was a betting man, I'd bet the Browns.
Well, that's what we got to do. We got to stick to reality. We can't be AI in the
I can't play with my heart. I can't even give whoever's watching this, the heartfelt take. Like, nah.
Everyone get your pickaxes and light the torch. He's against our team.
I love the Raiders. I'm not even a Browns fan, and I grew up 45 minutes away from Cleveland. But they suck then, they suck now. But out of these two right now, the Raiders, Max Crosby doubtful, Devontae Adams out. I got to go with the Browns. That defense is still great. Myles Garrett is still smacking people out. They still have Njoku. They lost. Yeah, they still got Njoku. Like, I'm gonna go with the Browns on this one.
All right. So
Deshaun Watson's playing a little. He's still a person, even though whatever you think about him.
Yeah. Deshaun Watson. He's
nowhere near as good as he. Once again, another Clemson quarterback
Amari Cooper,
who cheated the league.
Amari Cooper.
I love Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
Amari Cooper got shitted by the what's the name? By the Cowboys.
Yeah.
He got shitted by the Cowboys. How you pay all these people all this money, you don't want to pay him?
Or CeeDee Lamb. If they get rid of CeeDee Lamb on the Cowgirls and they get rid of him, that'd be it. They will. Their entire stat line.
If the Cowboys lose, if CeeDee Lamb tweaks his ankle, the Cowboys will lose every game.
Yeah.
Moving forward.
Yeah.
Amari Cooper is an older veteran version of what CeeDee Lamb was to Dak when Dak first got there. When Dak first got there, Amari Cooper was what? Same age maybe? 20-something in his early 20s?
Yep.
Hot and on fire. CeeDee Lamb, the exact same thing. I remember watching the Hard Knocks of Amari Cooper teaching, training up CeeDee Lamb when he got drafted.
Yeah.
And I was like, CeeDee Lamb's amazing. He's only 27, 28 years old.
Yeah.
You don't want to pay him? Fine, whatever. Jerry Jones is like a chick. He falls in love with a new dude every fall. Like just like any chick. Not even in the fall, spring.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Right after Valentine's Day, he's in love with some new player, just like your high school girlfriend. Just like your college girlfriend. She moved on like the wind.
Yeah. Well, that's the league. That's that circles back to the injuries, and just if you're too injured, or if you've reached your quota for concussions or knee injuries, and you sit the game out, then you forfeited the entire league, your career, for the betterment of your health. And it's questionable because you're kicking somebody out in their prime. It's it's for their wellness, and then we can get that new talent in.
If you're responsible, the league is responsible, the teams are responsible for these players. If you're not being responsible with their lives, then if you're not being responsible with their lives, somebody has to step up, because sometimes these players don't know better because they haven't been taught what to value in life with their mental health and take care of those things. Some players are not doing it. They're moving strictly based off money, and money don't love you back. So you got to learn how to love yourself, and that's why I'm here. But anyway, that being said,
But at the same time, though, when the coach, like we talked about Jerry Jones, and loving different athletes and seeing the talent, he could use that caveat of the contract of the injuries to remove a player to get a new player that he likes and move them into and so could the owners. I mean, how?
But Jerry's not about winning. If there's one thing the Dallas Cowboys in the last, I'd say the Dak era, that it's made just evidently clear. Jerry Jones don't care about the record. He don't care about the season. He says he cares about Super Bowls. He don't. Jerry Jones cares about being the number one jersey seller, the number one fans, the number one crazy fan base, and the most lucrative team in the league. That's what he cares about. The bottom dollar.
Well, it is about that. You know what I'm saying? When we talk about sports, we talk about agencies, we talk about money, we talk about creativity, talking about pay to play. You want to be here, you got to grease the wheels, because if you jump in a car and you don't got no oil in it, guess what? It's not going anywhere.
That's very true.
And so you're greasing that wheel, but then there's another bearing, and then there's an axle, and then there's a brake pad, and all of these individual parts and components of the engine, people.
But you can't stop. But you can't stop going because you can't lose productivity. You're gonna fall behind if you stop. Exactly. If you stop to take the whole thing in to get service, you're gonna lose productivity. You can't stop.
But that's what I'm saying. Like when we go circle back to artists and music and independent and go to a record label and all the rest of that, or sports athletes, and do I really need an agent? And it's like you absolutely do too, because unless you're a phenom like Barry Sanders, Deion Sanders, like a moving fucking fridge, a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
You absolutely need an agent to say this person's good on and off the field.
Really true.
All right, so circling back to Buffalo Bills, Baltimore Ravens. Who we got here?
I'm going with the Ravens, even though the Bills have looked very good. I think the Ravens have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder after the Raiders loss. I think that's why they came and gave it to the Cowboys as well as they did. And the score looked close. Don't get it twisted. Dak threw like 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter of in garbage time. I think they really have a chip on their shoulder. They always have that. And the chip on their shoulder is Patrick Mahomes. Lamar Jackson needs to win more than one game in the playoffs. He needs to, and he's not going to go without it. He's the MVP of the league. Yeah. Lamar Jackson needs to win, and this is going to be a great game. Is this the game of the day? Or is this Monday night?
I believe it's Sunday.
5:20.
Yeah.
Man, I'll be watching that one. I'll be in the circuit watching football.
There you go. Titans, Miami Dolphins.
I'm going to go with the Dolphins because the Titans are still figuring out their situation. Will Levis is not good. He's Zach Wilson of this draft class. Was he in? No, he wasn't in. He came in the year after Zach Wilson. He's the Zach Wilson of their draft class. Good looking kid, says all the right things. You think he's doing all the right things. Has the quarterback face.
Yeah.
Looks like he's the leader of the team. Not at all. Talent's not there. Intangibles aren't there. Nah, I'm good. I'm going with the Dolphins, who have something to prove, who are trying to bounce back.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
And it's in Miami. I'm going with the Dolphins.
Well, he's still got time to prove himself. I mean, a lot of the problem is like Trevor Lawrence, what we talked about on the Jaguars, is you take a star athlete with his boys, and then you move them into a room where.
But where did Levis come from? Where was Levis? Wasn't he in?
Good Levis? That's a great question.
Levis.
It's Willis Levis.
His name's Willis Levis?
Oh.
That's a terrible name.
They're just not on the same page. His team,
Penn State.
Yeah.
Penn State and Kentucky. Yeah, he's used to losing. He's used to losing. He's used to coming Penn State. He's used to coming in third to fourth in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
And at Kentucky, he was not there to win at all. He was there to be on TV. No. I have no faith in them. They need to draft a quarterback, which they probably will based off their 0-3 start.
Cool. All right, we're going Dolphins.
Shedeur Sanders of Tennessee.
Shedeur Sanders.
Which I think is just like Will Levis. A lot of mouth, but I think he's more talented.
Also, all right. Lastly,
Monday Night Football is going to be Seattle Seahawks and the Detroit Lions.
Tennessee Chickens
This
versus
is almost a snooze fest. I think it'll be a Detroit blowout.
All right. Yeah, I'll go with you on that one.
I think it's going to be a Detroit blowout.
Yeah.
Detroit by 10.
Yeah.
10 plus on the Detroit.
Yeah, for sure.
These Monday night games early in the season are always really boring.
Yeah.
Last week we had 2 Monday night games, and they both kind of mid.
Mm-hmm.
One was a blowout and terrible. I watched the other one. It was mid, but it's football.
For sure.
So we're gonna watch.
Yes, sir.
Yep. What college game are you looking forward to seeing on Saturday?
I'm not really a college.
Come on, you gotta like a college.
I like UNLV, but our football team's doing all right. But the program it's got room for improvement.
Well, you know that they're right now trying to figure out if they should join the Pac-12 or the Mountain West.
Yeah,
I think they were in the Mountain West now, so it's whether or not they want to join the Pac-12.
Yeah.
Right now. So, what do you think? Did you go to UNLV?
No.
Oh, yeah.
I went to Oklahoma State.
Nice.
Stillwater.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. The other OSU.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, nice.
Ohio State, Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
I would have to say, it's a toss-up because there's funding, there's the different league. It is ultimately where can we get the best players. So if we're talking about from a
Pac-12.
coaching, then Pac-12 should be the move.
Because you got UCLA Big Ten, USC Big Ten. Isn't Colorado in the Pac-12?
I believe so. Yeah.
You got that opportunity where the big dogs have now left.
Yeah.
So that means, hey, they left and they left behind all of their meal. They left behind all their dinner.
Yeah.
Now we can all jump up there and get a bite.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's your opportunity to steal some of that market share that you didn't have. UNLV's opportunity to get some of that market share. Join the Pac-12.
Oh, so.
Join the Pac-12, man. And it just makes sense. It just makes sense. You know what I mean? You lost USC, UCLA, those are big programs that left. Oregon left. Those are big programs that left. That's a hell of a lot of market share, a hell of a lot of TV time. When's the last time you watched a UNLV game on to I guess here in Vegas you'll see it a lot.
Yeah.
But I mean outside of Vegas, you go to 3 hours west in California, you didn't see no UNLV game at all.
No, you got to stream it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'd say join the Pac-12. It's too much market share for y'all to jump in and make you some money. Everybody knows the Running Rebels, but it hasn't been relevant since 80s basketball. Yeah, Tark the Shark. It hasn't been relevant since then.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right, well, this is the Love for Sale Sports Podcast. We're going to wrap this up. And so we covered the 2024 League Week 4 of the NFL. Got any closing remarks here?
Man,
Where we're at with?
I'm rooting for the Raiders. I'm rooting for everybody from Ohio. And I'm rooting for everybody here in Nevada, man. Everybody here in Nevada building this culture out here. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing because we're growing not only as a tourist destination, but also as a family destination. So, Las Vegas is the place to be. Please stop coming. Stop moving here. We've got enough people, but yeah, I'm glad that we're showing people how beautiful Vegas can be.
Cool. All right, Love for Sale Sports Podcast. Out.